Hey there, welcome back. Today we're going to be taking a look at VOIDLinux. VOIDLinux just came out with a new release, so I'm on their website right now. And I've downloaded their ISO and got it up in a virtual machine. But before we head over there, just want to talk a little bit about Void. Void is a general purpose operating system based on the monolithic Linux kernel. Its package system allows you to quickly install, update, and remove software. Software is provided in binary packages or can be built directly from sources with the help of XBPS, Source Package Collection. It is available for a variety of platforms. Software packages can be built natively or cross-compiled through the XBPS Source Packages Collection. So, this is a independent release of Linux, so it's not Debian, it's not Arch, it's not a Fedora base, it's its own thing. And on their website, they had information right here. It's telling you that VOIDLinux is an independent distribution developed entirely by volunteers. Unlike trillions of other existing distros, Void is not a modification of an existing distribution. Void's package manager and build system have been written from scratch. And it says here that it's a stable rolling release. And instead of systemd, it uses runit. It uses the C library diversity, XBPS, which is its package manager, and XBPS SRC. And there's other links for other information right here that you need for VOIDLinux. And it also has its recent news. So right here it says March 14th, 2024 image release. And this is the update that it had right here. And it also has some information about Raspberry Pi 5 support. All right, so let's head on over to the virtual machine and take a look at VOIDLinux. All right, we are here at the virtual machine right now. So one of the first things I'm going to do is I'm going to fix the resolution because it's kind of wonky. So let's go ahead over to settings, click on display. We'll select 1920 by 1080. All right, display has been selected. So this is the VOIDLinux XFCE version. So we're on their desktop. I'm going to open up a terminal and make this bigger and also zoom in a bit. So to get the installer started, you have to type void installer. Oh, I have to run it as root. Okay, we have the installer up and running. So we got a message here that says enter the void. Welcome to the VOIDLinux installation, a simple and minimal Linux distribution made from scratch and built from the source package tree available for XBPS, a new alternative binary package system. The installation should be pretty straightforward. If you are in trouble, please join us at #VOIDLinux on IRC libera.chat. I'm just going to select OK. All right, here's the installer itself. So we're going to set up the keyboard, hit enter, and I'm going to scroll down to, I want to say EN. Is it EN or is there a US option? There is a US option, so I'm going to select that. Next, it's going to be a network, and I believe it's going to automatically do it, and it did. Select OK. Next, it's going to go to source, and we're going to use the package from ISO image. Now we're going to select our mirror. All right, for the best experience, choose a mirror geographically close to you. And I'm going to do North America and California. It's updating the mirror. All right, it's completed. I'm going to set up a host name. I'm just going to call it void locale. I believe it's going to be EN US UTF-8. There it is, EN US UTF-8. And time zone, I'm going to do America. And scroll down to Los Angeles. Root password, give it a complicated password that's not 12. Again, type the complicated password that's not 12. Now let's create an account. I'm going to give the account name, LinuxHub. And again, LinuxHub. And then the password, complicated, that's not 12. Type it in again. I'll click OK right here, leave it as default. Bootloader, let it use the disk. Use a graphical terminal for the bootloader, yes. And now it's time to partition, the scary part that everyone's afraid of. So I'll click on it, click OK. I'll use CF disk, click OK again. Leave it on GPT. All right, here I'm going to select new. I'm going to give this a 512 capital M for megabytes. And on the type, I'm going to go to BIOS boot. Okay, did that select? I don't think so. There you go. Go back down to free, select new. I'm going to change this to, I'm using 4 gigabytes of memory, so I'll give it 4 Gs. And the type is going to be swap, Linux swap. All right. Now I'll go to the free space, type new, give it all of it, go back to type, and this is going to be Linux file system. And I'm going to select write, click YES, not just Y, YES. All right. And now I'm going to quit. And file systems. Configure file systems remote points. Okay, use up and down keys to navigate menus. Use tab to switch between buttons and enter to select. Select the partition to edit. I believe it's just going to be the third one. And I'm going to make it ext4. And the mountain point is just going to be that right there. And I'm done. Now I'll click on install. Gives you a warning, data on partitions will be completely destroyed for new file systems. Do you want to continue? Yes. Counting files, please be patient. All right, then you get the progress bar and it's doing the installation. So I'll go ahead and pause the video now. When we come back, we should be ready to reboot into the system. Hang tight, fellas. All right, and the system has installed. And I think it only took like 2 or 3 minutes. So it was a pretty quick installation. Not long at all. So the best to check out right now is, do you want to reboot the system? And I'll select yes. And there you go. We are now on Void Linux. So the installation went without a problem. So again, what I'll do here is I'll fix the display resolution. So I go back to settings, display, and let me set it to 1920 by 1080. Click on apply, keep this configuration, and close. All right, so this is Void Linux using the runit system instead of systemd. And we are using the XFCE desktop environment. So this is a vanilla XFCE desktop. All right, so the way XFCE comes by default is with the panel on top, and then you have a dock on the bottom. So on the dock, you have your files which is your folder options. Then you have a search, you have web browser, file manager, which I believe is going to be Thunar, and a terminal emulator. And then you have a couple of icons on the desktop. You got Void Live, which is the ISO, but we don't need that anymore, so I can actually remove it. We have a trash can, we have your file system, and then we have home. So let's open up the terminal, see what terminal we're using right here. And on the about, it is XFCE 4 terminal 1.1.2. And I know that it uses its own file manager, which is XBPS. So I've never used XBPS, so me and you, we're going to learn together. So XBPS install. Let's try HTOP. It says XBPS command not found. So we have to learn how to use XBPS. So let's go to web browser. And I'll do XBPS install HTOP. All right, XBPS package manager. So I guess we should do this first. Is actually update. So let me try this first before I do anything else. Go back to the terminal and I'll do XBPS install. Also, there's a dash. Updating repository, failed to lock the package, permission denied. So I gotta do a sudo. Should have known that, but like I said, we're gonna learn together. Updating repository, see if this takes a while or not. Okay, do you want to continue? Yes. All right, so that was the an update that I did using XBPS update. So that was XBPS dash install and then capital S and U. All right, so we got the update done. So if I want to do a search, I guess it'd be XBPS dash query dash capital R and lowercase s. So the XBPS dash install should get me to the programs. Let's see if that's true. Sudo XBPS dash install, and let's try HTOP again. Okay, look at that. All right, so that's installed. Let's do the up arrow and see if we can get NeoFetch. And NeoFetch is installed. All right, let's clear the desktop. The terminal. And let's do HTOP first. There you have it. All right. So Void Linux. The installer works pretty good. So, all right. Using 990 megabytes out of 4 gigabytes. The swap is not using none. And the load averages are 0.22, 0.23, and 0.9. All right. Let's go ahead and clear this out. Now let's do our NeoFetch. There you have it. Void Linux. And you can see right here, I am the user, LinuxHub at Void. The kernel we're using is 6.6.21. And our desktop environment, XFCE 4.18. The theme is going to be the stock gnome, Adwaita. Icons are stock also, Adwaita. And you got your memory, GPU, CPU, terminal. All right, so let's go ahead and close this terminal down. All right, so we learned about how to install equipment. Now let's get into the system and take a look at our applications menu. So let me close this Firefox browser. Or before I close it, let me just do a quick about on Firefox. And Firefox is running the latest 123.0. All right, now I'll close it down. So continuing with the XFCE, this is our application menu right here. So it's located on the top left. And we have a run program, terminal emulator, file manager, mail reader, and web browser. And then you have categories like settings, accessories, development, graphics, internet, multimedia, system. And then you have your about and your power menu, which only says log out, but it'll give you shutdown, reboot, all of the options that you need. So let's take a look at the about XFCE and about the XFCE desktop environment. So right here, it gives you your, so it got device, void, OS name, void Linux, OS type, 64-bit. And then it gets your XFCE version, 4.18, GTK version, kernel version, CPU, memory, and GPU. Then you also got your about, credits, and your copyright info. All right, back to the applications menu. We did see our terminal emulator already, which was the XFCE terminal, and we did see our web browser, which is Firefox. Now, let's take a look at our file manager. And in this case, it's going to be Thunar. So on the about, let's get the info. It is Thunar 4.18.10. All right, back to the applications. We have our mail reader. It says choose preferred application. So I don't think we have a mail reader, so I'll just click on cancel. Usually you have like Thunderbird or things like that, but the option was there, so I clicked on it, but obviously there's nothing. All right, so web browser, that is Firefox. And settings, this is where you get into your settings. So basically everything that's on this menu right here, you're going to find right here in the settings manager. It's just all iconified. And if you need to set up anything, this is where you'll find it. So you got your appearance, desktop, file manager settings, notifications, panel, text editor settings, window manager tweaks, workspaces, your screensaver, and your terminal settings. Then you got your hardware info, which is your color profiles, display, keyboard, mouse and touchpad, power management, pulse audio volume control, and removable drives and media. Then you got your system, which has accessibility, default applications, and your startup session. And then in the other, you have your settings editor. There's also a little search right here. So if you need to find something specific, you can use the search. And under accessories, you have your application finder, your rename, bulk rename, which is Thunar, mousepad, a text editor, task manager, and Thunar, the file manager. And under the development, you have icon browser. Graphics, you have your Straddle image viewer. So this is just a regular standard image viewer, nothing fancy about it. You need to view an image, you'll use this app right here. And on about, it's just telling us it's Ristretto 0.13.2. And internet, we already saw Firefox. Multimedia, we have your pulse audio volume control, then you have Parole Media Player. So with Parole Media Player, you can play audio and video files. So it works as a dual system. And under the about, Parole Media Player 4.18.1. A modern, simple media player for the XFCE desktop environment. So basically all the apps on here are just your standard XFCE apps that you get. Nothing extra added, nothing, just straight up vanilla. All right, then your system, we have HTOP, which we installed. You also have a task manager, terminal, and your file manager. All right, it's pretty much the basics on here. So I showed you how to install equipment. So if you open up the terminal, I'll do it again, make it bigger for you. So sudo xbps-install, and then the name of the program. So let's see, let's say Thunderbird, which is a email client. We'll go ahead and install it since it was asking for it. So if you need to install it, that'll be the command to install it. So anything sudo xbps-install plus the name of the package. So you can see right here, Thunderbird is downloading. Hit uninstall. And it looks like we're finished with it. And it's done. So I'll go ahead and close the terminal. Go back to applications and then go on the mail reader. And now it should open up Thunderbird. See? All right, set up your existing email address. So whatever account is, you add your account name, your email address, and your password. Continue, and that way you'll have a desktop client that'll open up all your emails for that specific email address. Or you could just go online and just do it the normal way. All right, so this is a VOIDLinux. Pretty straightforward. It works good. Everything worked good. The installer worked good. The updater worked good. No packages gave me any failures, so everything worked good. This is a vanilla stock version of XFCE, but you know, XFCE is pretty minimal, and you could pretty much make it look as good as you want to make it look. But just want to take a look at VOIDLinux because they had a update, and yeah, everything worked good. So if it's something you want to mess with, I'll have the links down in the video description. All right, everybody. That's going to do it for this video. So please like and subscribe if you're not yet subscribed. And I'll catch you on the next one. And I'm out.